You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio.
Victorious 89.1 UAKP.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.
Victorious 89.1 WAKP. Your unity in the community station.
One Gallon Kia full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair care without having to rely on a assortment of hair care products. The one Kia products are designed to rejuvenate, shine, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling weightless and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebywAnkaya.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One Barrel Kia. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, first right, baby. Drive it home, get kind of tired. Same name every day. So you can just with me live. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in the Powerhouse. Wednesday, 7 and 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hide but what good tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name? Drive to one of those. Or you might be long gone. Even on your phone. I promise that you say drive one time, it'll blow your mind. I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Welcome.
Good evening. Happy New Year.
January 4th, okay? The 4th day of the year. Happy New Year, everyone. Hey, Mckenna Marcus.
Hey, MG. Hey, Tonia. Happy New Year.
What up? Let's Gripe. What's up?
Hey, y'all got it.
Man, I didn't see y'all from last year, man. That was too long. We're not going to let time go by that long again.
Yeah, it's been a little minute.
It's been a little minute, but it's good to be here. It's good to see you guys. It's good to have our listeners back. What's crack-a-lackin'? What's the gripe? What's going on?
Oh, my goodness. So we got a lot of gripe, but we got to definitely shout out our listeners, because I get those texts. It's like, hey, where you at? Where you at? So we got to shout out to our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in. And always when you miss us, you're always, reaching out to us. So thank you so much for tuning in to the powerhouseradio.com, listening to your 3 favorite people. Let's ride. So, we got some catch up to do. So first of all, this is not a gripe. This is a thank you that we made it over. Okay. We made it over. So that's definitely, I'm always appreciative of that. So we got to give that up. You guys have any shout outs before we get into the gripe? And then we got to catch up some stuff real quick.
I mean, just a shout out to our listeners and to our family. And also, I salute what you say, Tonia, because just thinking back, I remember us doing Let's Gripe through the pandemic, through the P word, and how, every day we're looking at numbers and we're looking at cases and we're looking at the different counties and just to be here in 2023, I mean, back then it just seemed so hopeless and so gray. And there were people that made it through and people that didn't, but we're still here and we still have an opportunity to reach our audience, to follow our dreams, to come up with some goals and just to be positive. And I'm thankful as well today.
We definitely got a shout out to Mike. Hey, how you doing? Mike is one of our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Happy New Year to you too and your family. Hope this year bring a lot of prosperity, health, and wealth. Okay. All right. So it looked like Marcus stepped away for a minute, but We got some gripes going on real quick. Marcus, there you go. There you go.
There's MG. Okay, MG. What's
Y'all want me to go?
Yeah, go on.
All right. My little gripe. Let's see here. I guess it's always my New Year's. You see the people pages and stuff on social media, and they always talking about this year I'm gonna cut all these people out of my life, and I'm not gonna just do it. Don't announce it to everybody. Don't announce it to everybody on social media. You about to cut some people off. If you ain't on this list, I'm about to cut you off. Don't do it. Just do it. Don't announce it. Just do it. Just do it.
You
Please.
heard it here. Just do it.
Please don't announce it.
Don't talk about it. Just be about it. Just do it.
Just be about it.
Just be about it.
That's it. That's all I want. That's my little
I
gripe.
think people do that because they want the person to know, yup, I'm cutting you out. Oh yeah, that's why you haven't heard from me, because you cut.
But I think they'll get the picture if you're not talking to them no more, or if they're not on your page, they're not on your friends list. Because if I see somebody that was previously on my friends list that's not on my friends list, okay, keep it moving. Ain't no big deal to me.
But you know what? Also with that, what I think is a thing that sometimes you want a cheerleader. You post it so people could be like, yeah, girl, who you talking to, or what happened? So it kind of be like that. It just be just throwing shade. It be show, and I'm gonna piggyback on your gripe. I remember, I had to someone, when you post something, and you post it is out there, they gonna like it, they gonna say, people gonna scroll by, and one of my good girlfriend, she's like the older sister that I always wanted. She told me, she said, Tonia, I think I told y'all about that back in November, told me, stay away. I said, I can't. Sometimes you can't. But this old girl was like talking about social media flex. Now, Mckenna, you know your girl. And I had to come back at her. I'm like, yo, you know me. And you know my flex. And you know it ain't social media. I mean, she got so silent.
Sometimes it's hard for people to be happy for other people. I don't know what it is that we just generally have to throw shade. Like, we're in this culture of just throwing shade. It's okay to scroll by and not say anything. I promise it is. There's so many things that I see, and I just, I might click on the chat and then look at the sub comments and the comment for the comment, and I'm just shaking my head and I'm scrolling like it's entertainment purposes only. But I don't have to jump in. I don't have to jump in the battle, because that's not my battle, right? Like, I just want to know, like, and I know it's not an age thing, but when do people mature? Like, okay, so you have these 15-year-olds, then you have the 20-year-olds, then you have these 25-year-olds, and you have these 30-year-olds, and these 35-year-olds, and 40, and 45, and 50. And you're looking at this line of people on your time, and you're wondering, okay, at what stage do some of our social media friends mature? Now, granted, we are mature in some areas of our life, and sometimes social media is not that area.
That part.
There might be lots of areas in our life that we are mature. But for some people, social media is not that place. That's the place that they lack the most maturity. And it's just the culture of social media. I don't think it wasn't designed that way. Like, I remember it was really to connect people. It was like, oh my gosh, I remember you from, I don't know, Girl Scouts and Brownies. I mean, I'm just saying, like, oh, I remember you. How's she doing? Oh, she had 2 kids, or, oh, she lives in, I don't know, Idaho. Just, you had the opportunity to have a snapshot of people that you may have crossed paths with once upon a time. And now it's kind of grown into this competitive, bitter banter, lightweight tear people down. And I don't know how we evolved to that place. Like, how did we get to that place? And then the other thing is, my cousin, she constantly reminds me of this. She'll say something like, this is my social media life. this is how are people jealous of my social, like she might post a picture, I'm in Chicago or I'm in, I don't know, New York or I'm in wherever, and the picture could have been from last year, legitimately, but she's going to post the picture, and then you have like these lightweight haters, and she's like, how are people jealous of my social media life? Like they don't even know me. You always going somewhere. What's wrong with that? Or Tony, you got another purse? What's wrong with that?
Look, this is what I used to get. It was funny because I like taking pictures, so I take pictures, especially when I'm out and about, and I know I'm cute. I'm gonna take some pictures. And I had someone told me one day was like, "Hey, I've been peeping your purse game. You actually was looking at the picture that hard that you could see my purse."
Hey Kim.
Hey Kim, Happy New Year, beautiful. Happy New Year. I mean, so and I remember before back in the days why I really just post pictures like, just of me and maybe my girls. I don't post no other extras and, inside the house or maybe, in the, like just whatever because it's simple or tagging like I'm checking in at, Hartsville International, because it's like, oh, you showing off because you always out and about. I thought we were just taking pictures and be like, hey, just, and I just stopped. And I think it was about maybe 10 years now. I stopped. I really don't do much of it. Even like with my party last year, I just snippets of pictures. And that was after the fact, it was just snippet. It's like, you thought, these people, but you know how it is. I don't have people on my Facebook page or even Instagram that I don't know. For real.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, man. That cesspool of social media people who you can be like, oh, I just graduated from college. You know, people be like, yeah, but your shoes ugly. Like,
So you just showing off because you got a degree. Like,
right.
okay.
Like, why? It'd be that one person try to get the laughs in the comments, but the comment section be lit. I ain't gonna lie to you though. They definitely do. They
Yeah.
definitely be funny.
It's true, especially if you got everybody as your friend on Facebook. That's another thing too. So I kind of keep mine. I got my personal page, and then I got we got our Let's Gripe page, whatever. Those pages really don't get too much of nothing personal, but that's a part of it. Well, you know what? For the new year, we're gonna keep promoting happiness, smile. We're not taking no time, not even a minute for granted anymore. I know I'm not. I'm definitely gonna, live it to the fullest. Marcus, I'm gonna leave you and Mckenna to the sports. We gotta jump into the sports, and if you guys have any update on our footballer who was injured over the weekend, Marcus, Mckenna, who wants to take that?
I'll just start and then I'll let MG fill in the rest of it. I will say that I was coming in the door, can't remember where I was coming from, to watch the game. And then when I got to the TV, it was the game has been suspended. So I was immediately confused, like suspended? How did something like, how do you suspend the game? And then that's when I heard the news about, the injury and that CPR was being done, and we don't have any more details at this time. And so I only watched a little bit of it because after I realized that the game wasn't coming back on, and the commentators were kind of mute in the sense like they were speechless. Like I forgot the lady's name. She was stuck on words, so she was annoying me because she was unable to keep my attention because she was just so stuck for words. And I said, something serious must be happening that we don't know about because I don't remember. And I watched plenty of football over the years. Like I'm not a super football fan, but I do like to watch it. And when I say not a super fan, I mean like don't ask me players and teams and owners and records and things like that. But just the enjoyment that I get from watching the different players play and the teams over the years. I've never seen anything like this. And so I just, of course, said a prayer for the family, for the athlete, for the players. And probably about 20 minutes later, I said, okay, this game is not coming back on. So I kind of turned away from it. Then the next day, the report was critical condition. And I'm thinking, that's all we're hearing is critical condition. That just seems like limited information in the era of technology. I mean, people know people, of course, not everybody, but a lot of us have family members who are nurses or know a nurse or doctors or just people who have had injuries themselves or who have been athletes. I mean, I have friends that have coached football, and people were on social media and saying something's not right. We've never seen this before. And then, and I'll let MG add to this, you have like the different opinions about whether or not the game should have been called, who actually called the game. Was it New York? I guess that's the place where the decisions are made. Or was it the players on the field who said that they were not coming back to play? So there's a lot of conversation that's happening all at the same time about this incident, this injury, this player. And it does make for interesting conversation for people who aren't as invested in football to learn more about football, about it being a job and a sport, and about where the focus is. Is the league focused on the player or is the league focused on making money? Of course, businesses are in the business of making money. I don't care what kind of business you have, whether you are shining shoes or selling shoes or making shoes, you're still in the business of making money. And then you have the human factor side, like, well, am I here to take care of my employees and show empathy? And so I think that conversation is going to continue until we learn more and until the game has been rescheduled. Even other teams are concerned because this impacts, I guess, the playoffs. Don't quote me, but it does make for some interesting conversation. Aside from, of course, the wellness factor. Of course, we want him to be well in recovery, we want his family to be in good position, but it just puts another highlight, because the NFL has been in the spotlight over the past couple of years for different things. And this just adds another flashlight on the culture of the NFL and the league.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know who called the game, but I thought it was the right move. Um, as a teammate of that player, anytime that you get to see or hear someone's doing CPR on someone, that means life is in the balance. It is their body can't function on their own at this point in time, and they need outside assistance. Football doesn't matter in that standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, how do you expect me to go out here when I have a teammate who I'm supposed to play for? He may not be my kin, but I know this person. We share a locker room. We've sweated together. We bled together. So this is my teammate, and you expect me to just go out here and just focus on the football game when his life is in the balance right here on the field. Not at the not at his hotel or at his home, but right here on the field. He was just 5 minutes prior to this. We were slapping high fives and stuff and ready to go. In 5 minutes now, he's laying on the field. So the opportunity to cancel the game is the right move. I mean, I don't think it should have been a debate. I know it's about the playoffs or whatnot, but I don't think it should have been a debate. And I thought whoever made the call made the right call to actually, to call the game. I mean, players on the field, I've heard that players were visibly crying on the field. You know what I mean? Because they were scared to death. And so, how do you, continue on with a football game? Especially if you saw a player get injured in this way while playing this sport. You know what I mean? It's a lot that has to be processed in that moment. And you can't just take a 5-10 minute break or even 20 minutes or even an hour and really just to be like, all right, we processed for an hour and now we can go back on the field. No, it doesn't work like that. So I thought they made a really good call. And as you said, McKenna, it was definitely, I didn't watch the game either. I just kind of, how you watch the updates and stuff like that. And I saw, the first thing I saw was, got the update. I think I subscribed to some Twitter on somebody's Twitter account, and they were like, "Oh yeah, he's down on the field and they're administering CPR," and
Yeah, my
that shocked
mom.
me.
Oh, sorry,
Go ahead.
Marcus.
No, go ahead.
My mom was actually, she had the TV on and that was on. And I think I went in the room to do something because she's been hanging out with me for the last week. And I went, and when I went in the room, I saw it and I'm like, you watching football? But then I just saw everybody like, and I just saw everyone just like in shock, and it was like worried, concerned. And I'm like, and they put the camera and I saw the young man and everyone around him. And then I was like, wow. But seeing that at that moment, I didn't know it was that of magnitude as well. Some you probably think you got a broken foot or sprained ankle, but to hear what they're saying happened, it's really heart wrenching. And I definitely the family, are in my prayers. Hopefully, he can a full recovery. It's one of those things. He went to work. He went to work, and he went to work doing something that he loves. And those are the things that I think about, you know. And then they showed the clips of when he was hugging his family before they started to the game and etc. So it brings it right back to where it's like we just have to cherish every moment, every minute,
The
because
thing,
he got hurt doing something that he loves.
and that's a good point that you make. It's a job, and some of us go to a job that we love. Some of us go to a job because it pays our bills. But just looking at it from an employer standpoint, you think about people who've gotten injured on the job and the difficult time that they've had fighting with unemployment or workers' compensation. And so some of that conversation was, well, he's not a vested player. He's only been in the league 2.5 years. So what happens if, he's unable to return to football? He's not going to get paid out his contract. The NFL is not going to, financially support him. There was even some dissection of the contract that they have and some percentages of, players who have gone out injured and the battles that they've had, stories that we don't hear about and things that don't get really spotlighted in the news were some of the conversations that, I heard earlier today about the low percent of, it used to be where a player would get, and don't quote me on the numbers, maybe $5,000 a month in disability. Now it's down to $2,000 a month. So just some conversation about how well, not just the NFL and the league, but how well do companies take care of their employees who get hurt at work? And I don't know if anybody here, if any of us have been hurt at work and had to go to a workers' compensation doctor. Of course, it may work for who your employer, and maybe it's carpal tunnel or maybe you fell and sprained your ankle. But we've heard people who've had to have this fight. So I really think that this conversation is broader than just about him and his particular recitation and having to get hurt at work. It really talks. Some people opened it up. Well, what about the veterans? Veterans go off to war, they fight for our country, they come back, they apply for disability, and they get denied. And they have a stack of medical records to show that this is what happened. They got injured in the line of duty at work, and now they're struggling and financially and emotionally and physically. And their job, their country is not there to support them. So I just think that this leads to a broader conversation about how well we're talking about $1 billion league who has billions of dollars, and billions of dollars, and I still don't understand how they have
Several
so
billions.
as in more than one. And I still don't understand how they make all this money, but that's another conversation. And how well do they use that money to support their players?
Well, that's probably a definitely a bigger conversation. Um, but the players have a union as well, um, to be able to kind of represent them and get like whatever pay that's needed. Basketball, of course, is a lot different. They get a larger percentage of revenue than football players, of course. Um, but but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a tragic, you know, turn of events for that young man because, as you said, he's just now beginning his NFL career, and for all intents and purposes, we don't know what the status of that is. You know, the most important thing is, you know, that he's alive, of course. So that's the most important thing. Um, but you know, that's definitely because he wasn't in the league for very long, and as you say, you know, these players, they go out on the field every day and play a game that they love. Some love it, some do it just for the paycheck. It just all depends. Um, but it's definitely a tragic turn of events for something that, you know, well, for most people who are watching, you know, the audience at home or in the stands, we just ready to see something exciting happen, you know, and for that to happen, it's definitely, you know, it's definitely a tragic event that people will, you know, never forget um, about the situation, you know, and so far it seems like everyone has been, you know, pretty much, um, you know, pretty much everyone has kind of, you know, taken the situation, not taking it for granted, sent out prayers. But I know there's one particular sportcaster that people were kind of on, Mr. Skip Bayless. Um, and the comment that he made that people were kind of on him about, I didn't see the problem with it too tough. You know, let me read it to you real fast to our listeners. I'm sure some of them said, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. And people were like, why is he saying this? He's so heartless. You shouldn't be talking about that, about football at this time. I was kind of like, I mean, that's it didn't seem like that bad of a statement to me. It seemed like he was saying like what everybody knew and what everybody recognized was that this game determines placing seed into the playoffs. And it was a big game, but you know, you can't make this game up again. You know, it's gonna be difficult. But, you know, all of that stuff, you know, goes out the window because of what happened. You know what I mean? But I guess just a mere mention of football in that situation as opposed to the player and his life is, I guess, was one of the things that people um, clung to, but they were on him. Uh, but I think it's a combination of people not really caring for him. Um, um, and I've heard they tried to get a petition to get him fired from his job. Uh, so it definitely ran that deep. But for the most part, a lot of people outside of him and his comment, a lot of people have, um, you know, from all teams have shown support and prayers for that player. And I think he had was trying to raise money. I think his goal was 2,500, and I think as of what I seen yesterday, and I'm sure it's more than that now. It was like at 700,000, um, which is great that people are giving. But I'm just amazed, not amazed, but I'm thankful that people have, you know, taken the situation for and recognizing it for what it was, and you know, that a player who's playing a game, and it wasn't anything vicious, it wasn't anything, you know, that's the first thing I asked. I was like, you know, what happened? It was a head on collision, was, you know, all these things that we think about as far as like injuries go, and it didn't seem like that. It seemed like a regular play, a regular tackle, and the young man stood up and collapsed onto the field, and it was a scary
Yeah,
moment for a lot of people.
yes, just sending prayers to his family and to the rest of the league. And we'll keep an eye on this story as well. I do want to kind of circle back. I don't think I really had a gripe. I just had a couple of things that I didn't get to. Did we talk about Black Panther 2?
I don't think we have.
Okay, did everybody see it?
I
I
saw
didn't, but you could talk about it because that movie's too long for me.
it.
Hey, Madonna. And then
What up, Madonna?
what about the Avatar movie? Did anybody watch that?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Okay. I haven't seen it either. And then what about the Whitney Houston movie? Did anybody want to see that or see that one?
Which one is that?
The Whitney Houston movie?
No, I haven't seen it, but I did see. I have been watching The Best Man. We can get to that.
I haven't watched it yet, but that was next. That was my fourth question. Which I out here watching is the question. So I haven't gotten to The Best Man. Some people said it was really, really good. I had one person that said they didn't like it at all, and I was just like, okay, you know.
Well, they have them in what is it, series?
Mm-hmm.
And I like it so far. I think I watched about 3 of them so far.
Okay. So I'm going to circle back and try to get all of those watched between now and next week. But I look forward to watching those. It's just a lot of TV. I think we've said that before. It's a lot of TV, and it's very difficult to keep up with all of the TV and all of the sports that's going on. So I don't try. I just pick a couple of things and watch those things. Or just like other people, you know, when you go through your Netflix or your, you know, recently viewed, there's lots of things that you started and didn't finish because you just move on to the next thing. And so, I mean, I was like, oh yeah, I remember I watched the first season of Yellowstone. What happened in season 2, 3, and 4? Oh, I just didn't get back to it, even though I liked it. Madonna said, I already know the story of her life. I don't want to see it. Oh, I want to see it. I'll watch it. I might not go to the movies and watch it. It might be next year when it comes on TV but I want to watch it.
Hi, Miss Butterfly. How are you doing? Happy New Year to you guys. Madonna, kudos. You know, we here hanging it out. Thank you so much for joining us the first Wednesday of the year.
I have a
Thank
question.
you to our listeners. Yes, it's the first Wednesday of the year, and they decided to share it with us.
Yeah.
For the ones who don't say hello via chat, thank you for tuning in because we couldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. So again, thank you so much.
Tonia,
I think I sent something. I saw something about the name Karen.
I have a question before you go to Karen.
Go ahead.
So I know that it's January and it's the first Wednesday in January, but didn't today feel like spring? After it stopped raining, of course, it was raining this morning. But didn't
T-shirts and shorts for me.
Didn't it feel springish?
Yeah, T-shirts and shorts for me.
Did anybody have to crack their window? Like it wasn't hot enough for the AC, but did you have to crack your window a little bit or, you know, circulate a ceiling fan?
I had to turn my heat down to 69.
Okay. Yeah.
But last week we were in the negative 17. And then
where was you at
the end of
negative
the
17?
week we were into fall.
Okay.
And then by the weekend we was in spring.
Yeah. I mean,
did you notice that, Mckenna?
It's very bizarre. I'm just thinking, was it me? I remember, was it last night or the night before? I woke up and I was hot. I'm like, why is it so hot in here? I couldn't, so I had to literally just crack the window just a little bit to circulate a little air. But, you know, last night it rained all night long, which I love the rain. I like it when it rains at night when I'm in the house and I don't have anywhere to go. Madonna, yes, it is flu, pneumonia, RSVP weather. It's all of that. So stay hydrated, stay vitamined up. You know, sanitize, as Tonia would say, keep them germs away from your face and your eyes and your mouth. Because who has time to be sick? That's not what sick days are for.
Right, not at the beginning of the year anyway.
Right. We just got here. We need to spread those out.
Right. That would be tough though. I'll start the new year off being sick.
But the most thing that I want to say that we still have to take our time for ourselves. So we have to make sure we're putting ourselves and our families first. Because like we were just talking about the football player and the organization, at the end of the day, it's business as usual. You know?
So I agree. So speaking of that, I had a 2022 list. And I actually looked at it today or yesterday, and there are things on that list that I didn't get to. And the first thing that I put on there was I wanted to go see the Harlem Globetrotters because I've never seen them. And so I messaged a friend and I was like, anybody want to go see the Globetrotters? And somebody was like, yeah, I want to go. So they're coming to Atlanta, I want to say in March or April. So I am going to make sure that I cross that off my list, and have an opportunity to go see the Globetrotters because I've enjoyed them ever since I was little. They've been around for a couple of decades, and they've changed faces, over the years. But I've always been enthralled by just the entertaining value of it. And I do like basketball. So that's on my list of things to do first quarter. So again, we're always encouraging people to, live and enjoy life. Life is meant to be lived and enjoyed. You don't want to wait till you're 70 to do something because by the time you're 70, you might not be able to do that thing. So do it along the way so that you'll have some good memories and some great stories to share with other people.
Exactly. So I have a little joke, a little giggle. Andra G and I, we had went to the outlet. So Madonna said, right, build up your immune system. Exactly. They talk about that sea moss and the elderberry and the vitamin C's and the zinc, those good stuff. So Andra G and I went to the outlet in Dawsonville last month, and she was on the line for me while I was getting some things because it was really long. And when I was walking towards the line, I'm seeing two lines. And I'm like, okay, which one? I said, how do you have two lines and they merge? So how does this merge? So I said to Andrea G, I said, listen, you're not gonna, we out of our zone, we out of our zone. So I looked around on the line and everything. So it was more of the other race than us, right? And this black guy, he was looking at some stuff, right? And I turned to him, I said, hey, if anything pop off, you're gonna have our back. He just so as we, proceeded, and I went, but I felt it in my spirit and I knew something was going to happen. So I'm seeing them moving up and Andrea G is moving up. And then I saw this Caucasian lady, she moved up. I said, she looked like she's not going to budge. Okay, hold on. Let me jump in this. So Madonna is advertising if you are 50, I think you have to be 50 or older to get the shingle shot. Madonna, thank you for letting us know she got the second dose. So that means that I need not to see her for about 2 weeks. Because I don't want to get the shingles, y'all. Because I know how that is. But if you are qualified to get the shingle vaccine, y'all are going to do that, okay? So back to the story. So as we proceeded to move in the line, and I said, Andrew G, I said, we got a problem. So as Andrew G made another step, this woman was like, I was here first. And I just started to laugh. And I know Andrew G could be Andrew G when she ready. So Andrew G looked and she said, no, you wasn't. I just let someone got in front of me. But you know what? Today a good day. I'm gonna let you go, right? I'm gonna let you get in front of me. And this woman just looking at her sideways, and me, y'all know me, I'm comical no matter what the situation is, right? So I just looked, and everyone behind us in the line, from the black ones to the white one, they up there just giggling. I said, Andrew G, it's okay. I said, what is Christmas without a Grinch?
Hilarious. Hilarious. Hey, Andrew.
Mckenna. But I said, Dawsonville is not where we want to get in trouble at.
Not
so
at all.
Anybody from Georgia, you know what we talk about. You don't want to get in trouble in Dawsonville.
No, not at all.
And you want to be home before dark. I'm just saying.
So it was amazing, but it just, Carolyn said, Lord have mercy. Yes, Carolyn. But see, this Carolyn, now her, she is one that it don't matter what would have happened. Carolyn wouldn't have let her in front of her. You know what I'm saying? You have them friends that you just know, like, please don't let nothing happen. You know, like, look at this. You remember that incident we had at Cracker Barrel? You did her go with the Cracker Barrel. Carolyn, we missed you on Monday because we had a situation. Every time we went to lunch, and Andrew G was there, and Madonna, and there was this couple, I guess the husband and wife, and they 2-year-old daughter, and this daughter could not keep still. And everybody at the table was like, oh my goodness, they can't control it. And I said, y'all better be glad Carolyn not here, because if Carolyn was here and she saw them came next to that table with that little girl, Carolyn would have been having a fit. And when the little child started acting up, I said, Carolyn probably, yeah, Carolyn, chime in if you like. She don't, she's something else. But I'm just saying. So it'd be one of those things when you have those friends that you know, please, you pray before you leave, before you go somewhere, like, Lord, please don't let us run into any complication, because I know I can control myself. But I know that other one just can't. That's Carolyn. Andrew G, she'd be like, you know what? Today not the day. But like I said, I want to go home tonight. Me, I'm the same way too. So it kind of one of those things. But it was so amazing that I already saw that Andrew was going to just let her go if she kind of barked. But it was just so funny. She was ready from the door. So why are we still on that energy though? Why do we still have that energy come when we were coming into 2022? Why? Why we still had the energy? Nobody know? All right.
Post-traumatic stress energy. Like, we are, as a people, on edge. And we have this I wish somebody would mentality that we don't all have filters for. Some of us can use the filter and process the situation and let things slide. And other people, they see the slightest thing that looks like an injustice, or you're trying to get over, or you're trying to handle me, and they're ready to yap it out. And so that energy, it has not dissolved, evaporated, disappeared. It is still floating around out here in the atmosphere. So we have to be intentional about managing the energy, even when we're around the people that we know. Like you mentioned, we have those friends. We have to help them manage that energy, because if we don't help them do it, who else is going to do it? Those are our peoples, those are our homies, our homegirls, our homeboys, our friends, our family, our cousins. We have to pull them to the side. Come here, cuz. Now, is there a different way you could have handled that situation? Man, this. I'm just asking. The situation is over. I'm just asking in hindsight. Could we practice doing it a little bit different next time? Because we know that these young Thundercats out here, they shoot first because they don't know how to fight. They.
What you call them, Thundercats?
Thundercats.
I like that name, the Thundercats. I like that, Mckenna.
From the cartoon, like, these young Thundercats out here, they're not wrapped the same way we're wrapped. So we have to, as we mature, I think I used that word earlier, as we mature, we have to practice managing all kinds of energy. The silly energy, the positive energy, the toxic energy, the about it energy, the drunken love energy, like all the energies. We have to learn how to manage. And I think at the top of the year, it's a good time to kind of look at yourself and say, okay, now which one of my energies do I need to manage the most this year?
I like that. Mckenna, you said that well, didn't she, Marcus? Yeah, what I choose to manage well this year is my laughter, my kindness. Even when someone is going to be mean, I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be kind.
Yeah, we talked about earlier about my gripe about people, talking about the people they're going to cut off in 2023 and all this other stuff. But if you just work on you and change you, people going to automatically fall off.
Marcus, I haven't cut off nobody in maybe about the last 4 years.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to be I thought you saw my post. I thought you probably saw my
that was you
5 years ago. I used to be one of them ones. If you don't get a happy new year from me, then that means we no longer friends.
Is that how it is? No happy new year? Well, we ain't even cool no more. Yo, wow.
Karen, what you said? Somebody need a whooping? Young, all they can get it. It don't matter how old it is. Sometimes people do need that little thing. But I think, like McKenna said it the best.
What makes that funny, Tony, is you'll have that one person that'll be upset that you didn't actually send them a personal Merry Christmas or Happy New Year. Like, okay, I forgot. Like, I didn't scroll down my phone and reach everybody. I did like the 4 or 5 people that came to my mind. But there are people who will legitimately be upset about that. And I have a friend like that. And we don't talk. We text about 3 times a year. It's Merry Christmas, Happy Father's Day. He's a male, and Happy Birthday. Yeah, those are our 3 texts. So I remember one year I forgot to say Happy Father's Day to him. Like I just forgot. Like, I mean, it was Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. It was June. It was Monday. Like, did you forget something yesterday? And I'm looking around like, what did I forget? And I legitimately didn't know. I had to think about it. I'm like, what did I forget? Like, and I was like, oh, Happy Father's Day. No, I don't have to Father's Day. You know what I'm saying? I probably haven't seen him in 10 years. But we have our 3 texts a year. But I think that those 3 text messages a year are valuable to him for whatever reason. But it was just amazing how, like, legitimately, it was a conversation. Did you forget something yesterday? And I was looking at the phone like, I took out the trash. I brushed my teeth. Like, what? Did I forget? But, we can be so in our feelings about like the smallest thing. And back to your point, Tonia, people do need a certain level of attention, and they look for it in the most bizarre places. Like, me and him are not involved in any way. Like I said, I probably haven't like physically seen him in 10 years. We send 3 text messages a year, and that's the extent of it. And it'll probably be like that indefinitely, like from now until, we're 90. But it's interesting what purpose we serve in someone's life. Like that text message is valuable to that person. So I won't forget it again because it's meaningful to him. And I appreciate it being whatever it is. But people look at us and our energies, and they need it for different reasons. Like when you say Merry Christmas to the people that you say Merry Christmas for, they're pleased about that because they know you. They know that you thought enough of them to reach out to them and that you're important to them. And in that moment, we never know when somebody just needs to feel cared about, from somebody else. And so I tried to make it a point to, and I did a better job last year of reaching out to people and just checking on people. We talked about that throughout the year. So anytime we brought it up on the show, I went in and reached out and checked on some people. And I think we just have to continue doing that this year as well. Just continue to check on people, and spread a little positive energy, because you can never have too much positivity. Like, if you have too much, then share it with somebody else. If you feel like you're just oozing with positivity and you have too much, then you might want to contain it because there's a rainy day around the corner, or you might want to share it because somebody else needs some of that too.
Well said. And then, like I said, it's just, I call time life. It's so fragile now. I'm not gonna take these days anymore and with the simplest things. If I call you and I don't get you and I text you, just checking on you. Yes, I want you to respond. When you get the message, just let me know you're good because I'm thinking about you. And I usually tell in my text, thinking about you, how you doing. But don't just ignore me for a week then, because I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm kind of worried. I'm one of that person, but I'm just not gonna be with the pettiness. Oh, okay, so she can't or he can't respond. Okay, I'm not texting again, because I mean I used to do it because I'm very emotional, because I care about people. So when I do reach out to say hi, how you doing, I really mean it. How are you doing? I'm really checking on you. I'm concerned. But I'm just going to take the energy and these breaths that we take every day, just make it worth it. Encouraging someone, letting someone know, hey, being on when I have my time when I just relaxing and I go on TikTok. I mean, I thought it was where you see people, doing skits and dancing. When you get up there now, you just seeing people showing at the funeral, they loved one died yesterday, car accident. I mean, I'm like, I don't need to be here because it's just, I thought this was a place where you get to dance and you see people just acting silly, but now you just seeing more of, someone passing or someone, getting diagnosed and telling, people in hospice it's kind of depressing. And I was like, I don't need to be here. It just kind of like make you realize, you know what, when you tripping over because that person ain't text you back, someone right now ain't never gonna be able to answer a text, and I think about those kind of things. So I'm just where a place that it's just gonna be love, kindness, happiness, laughter, just focusing on the positive things for not just 2023, just for in general. And I think that's what we should just really do. Just love on who we can love. But before we get out of here, we came in a little late, but they said the name Karen is dying out as women are deciding to legally change their name to escape the negative, y'all. Karen.
Hey, it is what it is.
That's what it is. Hey,
Mckenna, if your name was Karen, would you change it?
No, you know how much money it costs to change your name? Like all of the documents that you have to go through to change your name legally. It's just too much work. Like, I know who I am. I know exactly who I'm not. And you can get with this.
Or you could do that. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. But I had a Karen, her name was really Karen. Karen said to me last week, at my job, Karen said to me, "Oh my God, I know right now you want to kill yourself." I said, "Karen, actually, no, I don't. I want to live forever." And it felt good saying Karen too, y'all. Because her name was
context.
Exactly. Why would you even say that thinking it's funny or it's cute? Oh my God, I know right now you probably feel like you want to kill yourself. What?
Why was this like out of the blue? We all just sitting and just chilling, and she out of the blue what was the conversation
It was
like?
just at work, and it was just about a situation and it was just being busy.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it was a customer.
I'm gonna say this. People don't always know how to connect with the other person. So because saying kill yourself, and we know that people have done that legitimately, committed suicide. Like I heard of one the other day from a family member who it was like a distant cousin on their side, not related to me. Their husband went in the bathroom and shot himself, like with the wife and the grandkids in the house. So when you say that, we have to learn to be careful with the words that we use and know who we can joke with. Maybe I'm really stressed out because I have a lot of work that's going on. Maybe you should say, I know you'd rather be at happy hour than be at, doing all this work that's piled up on your station or your desk versus, I know you want to kill yourself. Nah, bro. Because we might know somebody that actually lost their life recently. So that person probably said it in jest, like in a joke, like, oh, you're probably so overworked right now, you would probably rather be dead, but that's not what you'd rather be doing. Maybe I'd rather be on the beach in the jacuzzi, or, there are other things that we could say other than, I'm sure you'd rather kill yourself. And I know people used to say that as a joke, oh, go kill yourself, or go play in traffic. Because we probably said that, go out there, why don't you go play in some traffic?
I've never.
We just never. More intentional.
But I just don't know how that is. I don't even see it like you said because it's such a sensitive topic anyway. What if that individual was that person that even had those thoughts anyway?
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. I mean, I just had to. I mean, it was shocking to me, and I was just like, actually, Karen, no. I'm trying to live forever. I'm just saying, if it was someone that was weak, it probably would like, oh, well, maybe that's a sign that I should kill myself.
And that's it's not funny, right? Yeah.
It's not. So we got to be careful, and that's another thing. We just got to be mindful of what we say to people. And that's why they say you never know what someone is going through. So it's always best to be kind. And I think that's what we should do, just in general, like I said. So it's 8:03.
All right. Am I going to see y'all next week? I'm just asking for a friend.
We will be here, God willing. We're going to be here next week, same time at thepowerhouseradio.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Okay?
I'm going to give a shout out.
Powerhouseradio.com. Mckenna, go ahead. You had something to say.
Yeah, I was going to give a shout out to Marcus's barber because that full beard, I see it came all the way in.
It's getting there. I'm working on it. It's getting there.
It looks really good, Marcus.
Thanks.
That's how you bring the new year in.
He did.
What they call that, a goatee? That's what they call a goatee?
No,
it's a beard.
It's a full beard.
Beard gang in the building.
Beard games matter. Yes. There's a whole page for that. But anyways.
Well, we'll see you guys here same time, same place, thepowerhouseradio.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also don't forget that you could tune in on Thursday at 8:00 in the evening for Reasoning Thursday, guys. And the Lady D show on Saturday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to the powerhouseradio.com support and Let's Gripe every Wednesday. We hope to see you again next week. This is Tonia saying have a good evening.
And this is Mckenna saying Happy New Year. Stay positive.
Marcus,
you go. DJ fourth quarter in your ear right now. If you're at home, if you're on your phone, first right, tune in the powerhouse. Wednesday, 7 and 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hide now. But one good listen tonight, the night change the life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home for long gone. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'm gonna say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the public. You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio,